All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Miss Silky. She has some information about which could be very deadly. Sign of the times, folks. I'm still going to be posting these kind of videos full of information. This last 6.1 in a Baja of California is connected to the San Andreas Fault. Here we go.
6.1 in the Gulf of California in an area that is absolutely locked and loaded more than in the last 1,000 years, and it's directly connected to the San Andreas Fault. So, is the big one about to trigger with this earthquake? So, right now, beneath the feet of over 20 million people in Southern California, the earth is under more pressure than it has been since the Middle Ages. A new study just came out about this, and I have already reported about this. Scientists have just discovered that the region's most dangerous fault lines have officially reached their highest tectonic stress in over 1,000 years. So they are not just strained, they are what geologists call critically loaded, guys. Critically loaded, pushed to the absolute brink of structural failure. And now we have this earthquake right there. So, a powerful magnitude 6 earthquake, shallow, violently ruptured the seabed just a few hundred miles south in the Gulf of California. The shaking was felt across the entire Mexican states, sending an absolute surprising sudden jolt to a highly volatile network of underground fractures that are there. It's not just one single fault line. But this isn't just Mexico's problem. Definitely not. Because what most people do not realize is that this offshore rupture happened on the exact same continuous tectonic engine that powers the infamous San Andreas fault system. So, is that magnitude 6.0 earthquake the final spark, the final push that sets off the clock for the big one? That is the question. So, I'm going to break this down, that terrifying hidden connection between today's Gulf earthquake and the newly threatened, critically loaded fault system, and the geological gate that they found that could trigger a multi catastrophe unlike anything modern humanity has ever seen. Maybe if you have seen my past video about that, you know what I'm talking about. Because don't blink, guys. The fuse is officially lit. To understand the danger, we first have to look at exactly what went down in the ocean at 12:45 p.m. local time. A sharp magnitude 6 earthquake struck the Gulf of California. Epicenter was located offshore northeast of La Paz. Lots of tourists there, Mexico. So for an earthquake to register is as a magnitude 6.0, a massive amount of energy has to be released instantaneously. So we're talking about something substantial, guys. This wasn't a minor tremor. This was a major tectonic event. But the real reason why this earthquake sent shockwaves through the scientific community, especially, isn't just the size of it, it's the depth. The USGS reports that the rupture occurred at a remarkably, we have to say that, remarkably shallow depth of only 6 miles. That's 10 kilometers. So, in seismology, depth is everything, as you might know if you watch my channel on a regular basis. If not, please like, hype, and share this video and subscribe because what I'm about to tell you right now will blow your mind. When an earthquake is deep within the earth, the surrounding rock absorbs and dampens a lot of the energy before it reaches the surface, right? Before it has an impact on buildings and structures. But a shallow quake, the energy almost has no buffer. So it strikes the surface, basically what we can say with raw, unfiltered violence. And these are the kinds of earthquakes that bring structures down. The shaking has rattled coastal towns and sent residents spilling out into the streets across northwestern Mexico. I mean, they have in their mind the catastrophe that is unfolding in Venezuela. And I'll put in the end screen why Venezuela, the double earthquake 7.2 and 7.5, went from disaster to even worse catastrophe. There's a new video that shows something remarkable. What is happening with the ground? It's in the end screen. You have to watch it. It's never seen footage before. But let's talk about Mexico. People out on the streets, fortunately, because the epicenter was located miles offshore, the deep ocean water has acted as a buffer for the most severe structural damage. And authority right now quickly confirmed there was no immediate threat of a destructive tsunami. That is important as well. And that is because of what the earthquake was. We'll get to that. But while coastal residents check their properties for cracks, seismologists are busy immediately turned their eyes north towards California because they know exactly which tectonic monster this earthquake just poked. It did that, definitely. So we need to talk about the hidden engine of the dangerous San Andreas fault that is locked and loaded and absolutely overdue. If we look at a standard map of the San Andreas fault, and it looks like a single line that basically neatly tracks through California and then it magically vanishes right around the Mexican border. Yeah, but that's not the real truth. Geology doesn't care about international borders. The San Andreas fault doesn't end at the Mexican border, it evolves. So, what we're actually looking at is a massive 800-mile long boundary between the two of the largest tectonic plates on Earth, the Pacific plate and the North American plate. We're talking about a location along the Pacific Ring of Fire, right? That horseshoe ring where the Pacific plate is being pushed into subduction zones and where we have the most of the world's dangerous and largest earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. So, two largest tectonic plates on Earth. Pacific plate is grinding northwest here in this area, while the North American plate is sliding southeast. So as you move south past the Imperial Valley into Mexico, this plate boundary enters in the Gulf of California. So here the mechanics change completely. So instead